Alrighty, guys. Well, today I'm joined with Caoimhin and Sean from OB Growth, all the way from Bangkok in Thailand. They are living the digital nomad lifestyle, but they are local lads from the Ireland and Drogheda area. Is it Drogheda as well? You lads were based in?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
from Monasterboice. Sean is Tully Allen, so just outside, but we claim Drogheda over at Dundalk anyway. So
Yeah, that's it. Well, you're loud, so that's the main
exactly.
thing. But beautiful. I thought it would be really powerful to have you lads on. I've came across their page and what they're doing in terms of, really building a life of mission and of by design and assisting other people with their skill sets and just really, not settling for the norm or conforming, but actually really building something that is something that you guys really, really do want to do. So thank you for joining me, lads.
No worries. Thanks for having us.
Yeah. So I suppose the kind of key question that I feel to ask you guys first and foremost is, what is OB Growth, and how did you guys, create that, and how did this alliance come to be?
Well, I'm Caoimhin O'Brien. He's Sean O'Brien. So we sat down and we had a deep discussion on what we could call the business. First of all, so we were like, OB Growth, rhymes off our second names.
Yeah.
Sean essentially about you did a course in social media marketing.
Yeah. So I done a course through, and took me probably too long to get going with it. I was hemming and hawing about, like, when will I launch? When will I not launch? Me and Caoimhin, having previously worked together, always tried to start new businesses or come up with some sort of idea for a business, even while we were working, and failed miserably.
Yeah.
Every time.
As we all do.
But I just thought that he was the right person to kind of join me or do this together with, because I hadn't launched anything. I knew how to do it, but I knew I had someone that had the same mindset as me. So I always thought it was a good idea to see if he wanted to do it with me, and that's how it started, really.
Brilliant. I love it, lads. I love it. And then I know we initially had a conversation before, but how long ago did you guys form or create OB Growth?
OB Growth was 7 months ago. We started up the business at the start of the year, but we didn't get any clients for basically 2 months. So I was living in Dubai, working in sales, and I was putting all my time and effort into the side hustle, really, because I wanted to get out of that job so bad. I love sales, but like social media marketing was something I really wanted to do. So we literally spent about 2 months, wasn't it, just applying for jobs, and then
just trying everything.
Yeah. And then as soon as we got a taste for like the first couple of clients, as soon as we knew we could make a bit of money off it, that's when we just were like, right, fuck this, we're gonna go all in and just put all of our eggs into the business, basically.
Love it, lads. Love it. And like it takes a lot of courage to do that. And I think, what did you find were the initial kind of struggles? Because I know, even for me, one of the biggest things when I was starting Brotherhood, and I think a lot of people can resonate with this, is, the fear of what other people think and how much that can hold you back. And even then the fear of, okay, what if this doesn't work out, and, having to push through that. Like, how was that initially in the beginning for you guys?
I think we both agreed at the start that everything that we do for the first few months is gonna come across like so cringe. But we just decided between the two of us that we just need to not care. And that's basically what we done. And then after a while, people don't care anymore. It's only at the start when they wanna. You should have seen when we started making videos, the amount of, because we have like business account, we can see the analytics on who sent what, and we can see like how many people have shared our stuff. The first few reels was insane, the amount of people that were sending our videos, and we were like, this is just us talking about something. But you know, because maybe you've done it before yourself, being like, look at this guy, or look what he's doing, or look what he's trying to do. But in reality, whenever like I've ever felt like that, I think it's kind of a deeper in my mind. I wish I was doing it, even though you're kind of half mocking it, but you're like, I wish I had the balls to do something like that. So we finally had the balls to do it and just say, don't care what anybody else thinks, and we just went for it.
It's just fuel to the fire. Like I used to love seeing that, because I know, like, if there are people, say, taking the mick out with you, those people aren't going to do what you're going to do, and they're not going to leave their job. They're not going to start a business, and it's only those people that are going to be speaking those things. So quite quickly, I found it very easy after the first couple of weeks to just block that out and say, look, I'm doing this for myself, not for other people. Care about maybe what my family think, a couple of close mates, and that's really it.
So true. Sorry.
I think even if we done it, put ourselves out there and failed, it's still better than not ever trying.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather fail 100 times and be successful once than had never tried anything and just be afraid of what people think for the rest of my life. And then I'd be like 80 years old, lying there being like, why did I care about what anybody thought? You know what I mean? Because in reality, it doesn't matter at all.
And I think you nailed something on the head there, is the realization that, really, it's like initially people might say something, but really no one really gives a shit, because they're still I think about, it's like you're scrolling, right? And you're mainly just thinking about your life. So you might see it for a second, you think about it then, but then you're scrolling on to something else. And more people are more worried about what you think of them than what they think of you, because they're feeling the exact same way as well. So there is a sense of freedom with that. So beautifully put, love it. And then what has the journey been then, obviously, from when you guys created OB Growth to then now moving to Thailand 7 months later? And I assume you guys are operating full-time now in your business.
Yeah. So I had I'd worked the job in Dubai, and in Dubai there was a war. So I lived with my older brother. We just moved into an apartment, and we were on the 35th floor. And basically there was explosions going on over our head. Nothing too serious, but we were just like, get me out of here for a week. So we both went to Thailand for 1 week, and I was working online my sales job. This is back in the end of March, beginning of April. And essentially we were working online, which also gave me a bit of leeway then to be able to kind of up the work on what was the side hustle. And essentially we ended up landing, I think that week I went over to Thailand for a week's holiday. We ended up landing 4 clients in the space of 3 days. Wow. So I literally said, I'm not going back. So I didn't go back to Dubai, and I just stayed in Thailand and quit my job online. So
nice, love it. Yeah. And then I assume, were you also in Thailand at that time, Sean?
No, I was in Ireland. So I actually left my job in November last year and decided that I was going to do this basically after, and just went for it. And then I asked Caoimhin, did he want to do it with me then? And then, like, I really hadn't done anything, like, at all at that stage. I was just like thinking about doing it, and I just kept like putting it off. But then when I said it to Caoimhin, the two of us just decided to go for it. We started to just like put everything we had into it. But for, like Caoimhin said, for 2 months, we didn't see one, like barely, or I think we had one call with somebody. But for that whole time, I was in Ireland, he was in Dubai. We were just on like FaceTime or Google Meet or
on Snapchat. We actually used to do our calls on Snapchat. Like, he'd have a dog filter on while doing the call as well.
Like, for like 6 hours a day, the two of us would be on the call to each other and just looking for stuff to do. And then when we finally got our first client, we were like, okay, this is real now, because we actually have a client. And then I decided I was going to move to Dubai to meet him there, and then obviously the war happened. So he was supposed to go to Thailand for a week, still hasn't left, and so I just moved over here and said, why not? Let's just do it. Because we were operating quite well actually by the time that I moved to Thailand. We had I think like 8 or 9 clients, and we were flying. So the two of us it was a natural step.
You know, and I really do find it's brilliant. Like, love the story, lads. And I really do find that, you know, the getting out of your normal environment does you exceptionally well. You know, in terms of your mindset, in terms of yeah, like you've got a brand new, because there's a great saying, it's like your personal reality creates your personality. There's a guy, Dr. Joe Dispenza, and he talks about that. Like, we're constantly firing and wiring neurons based on our environment. So when you go into a new environment, you've got like a new landscape to create a new version of you. Because when you're in the place where you've always been, it's kind of people know you as this sort of version from the past. And then you almost kind of find yourself conforming to that version at times too.
Yeah.
Whereas then there, by the sounds of it, it's kind of giving you guys the freedom to go, okay, fuck, this is just who I am now. And there's a bit more spaciousness.
I mean, you walk down the road in Bangkok, or you walk down Koh Samui or Koh Tao, you don't know a single person. You don't care if you're walking down the road videoing yourself, because they don't care who you are and you don't care who they are. Well, it's a different if you're walking down.
If we walk through West Street, if we walk through with a camera out, with like a tripod walking down, you know, people shouting all sorts of
like, look at this fella.
Look at this fella. Who do you think he is, like, you know?
God forbid, like, you video yourself walking down the road. But yeah, it's nice
to be a video of you videoing yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
It would be, look at this guy. Probably be sent to you later on that day. I think that's a thing in Irish culture, though. I think it's quite an Irish thing.
Yeah.
Nobody wants anybody to do better than they're doing. Really, it's like small town mentality. They think because they don't think themselves that they can do it, and no one else can do it. So I think it was actually like a blessing to get out of Ireland while we were doing this.
I really felt it back in 2021. I started a clothing brand, and I ran it for about close to 3 years probably. But like, I ran the clothing brand for about 3 years, and my biggest customers are people that didn't know who I was. I'd say about, I could count on one hand the amount of my mates that actually bought a hoodie off me, you know? And maybe the hoodies were just a bit shit. Maybe that's what it was. But I felt like when you start a business in a small town, you'll get a lot more support off people that don't even know you. So for me, that was kind of an indication that if I was going to start a business, to just try and get out of your local town for a little bit.
Yeah, 100%. And I think like that's definitely one of those things I'm trying to kind of break through with Brotherhood, and what we're doing is like giving lads the space to go, you know what, there is other people like us who are doing things, because your environment creates your culture, and you know, we are the product of the people we surround ourselves with. And I think that's why you guys have started to really succeed now, because it's one thing when it's on your own, but when you've got the accountability and the proximity, it's like, as you were saying, Sean, you know, you found it hard to take action, but then when you've got, you know, someone else there, you're leveraging each other's strengths. So, and then you're going way faster and way further together, because it's a brotherhood that you guys have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You have to be a bit of a, you can probably sense to say, you have to be a bit of a dick to someone as well, because like, say if he's doing something I don't agree with, or vice versa, like, you just need to call it out, because if you don't hold each other accountable like that, you'll just start a slope. It's like, you need to tell people what they have to hear, not what they want to hear. So I think we both kind of installed that fairly early in the business, whereas if I did a piece of content or he did a piece of content and we didn't like it, we just tell each other, listen, that's trash, change it. So I think that honesty kind of helped us get off our feet as well.
Still to this day.
Yeah, to this day.
To
Yeah.
this day, we still have those conversations.
Definitely.
Of course,
We
and I
don't-
think you will have for the rest of your life, or because but that's true friendship, right? Where it's someone cares for you so much that they're going to be honest with you. So like
100%.
one of my mentors said that to me, and he's like, you can tell when someone really loves you, right? And I mean, love in many different sort of guises, but with how honest they'll be with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How much they care for you and is how much they'll be honest with you. And the people who hold back, that generally isn't the friendships or even the relationships that you want, right? Because if, and especially in a business where, clear communication is so crucial. And if things are held in, then resentment builds, and then that just can explode. And again, when there's money involved and things like that, it's super important. So it sounds like you guys really have the building blocks, because yeah, like how have you found that transition from friendship to then business? I suppose it sounds like it's been an easy enough transition, has it? Or
yeah, like I'd say we've definitely had periods where we have to hold each other accountable a lot, so we probably, like, the first couple of weeks when Sean came to Thailand, we were like, right, we're in Thailand, let's have a good time. And we went out, not every night, but we went out a few times a week for the first few weeks, and our productivity in the business just went way down. And we were kind of like, right, we need to cop on here. So
yeah,
it's basically just been all business really the last few months. We kind of had a couple of weeks of letting out a bit of steam, and then since then it's been very focused on the business, trying to grow it.
there's less alcohol and partying now. It's more like gym, training, work, stuff like that.
I was even having 1 or 2 days like that per week can completely throw you off. Even if you go out once a week, the next day, if you don't lock in straight away, it's going to be a little bit unproductive, and that spirals. The same as having a productive day, waking up at 8 a.m, going to the gym, getting your work done. It's a pattern that we're trying to install to keep doing that.
Yeah, because it becomes a lifestyle, right? Like I'm the same too. There's I think it's a Hindu phrase called your sadhana, right? Which they talk about like your foundational practice. And I kind of took it as like the gym is my sadhana. It's the thing that brings you back to yourself, and if you don't have that, or you have these substances, and again, everything in moderation, right? Sometimes like, so you need to let your head down every now and then, but if it becomes the constant, then people are sitting with, it's like, no wonder why you're not feeling so great. You know what I mean? Or no wonder why you don't have clarity, because it's like, how are your habits? Show me your habits, you'll show me your future. Show me your friends, you'll show me your future. Show me your environment, you'll show me your future. And it is so crucial having that ritual and that structure, because I think there's that, you don't attract what you want, you attract who you are.
Yeah.
And yeah, and that is so important. And I think, look, again, that is one of those things for, I've been speaking to some of the lads here, and they kind of go through those years of partying, and then they're trying, then there's that kind of feeling similar to you lads, where it's like, okay, I need to lock in. And I suppose, what would you guys say to someone, maybe who's listening to this podcast, maybe they followed along your journey, or maybe they're just listening to this, or you guys or myself for the first time. What would you say to them? They're feeling like they want to go out and do something, but they're stuck in that position where they're surrounded by friends or an environment, and they feel stuck in that. What would your guys' perspective be on that situation? What would you say to someone in that situation?
I'd say they can do one of two things. The first thing is to get over the fact that people are going to judge you, and to just do it anyway. Like, to really try and instill into your mind that the people that are going to judge you aren't people that you want as your mates anyway. And if you can't get over that, then leave the country, like move somewhere else, and go out on your own and kind of have that bit of loneliness and get the independence, which you'll be bored. You won't have any mates to do stuff with because you're going to be in a new country. But it literally gives you no option but to lock in and but to make it work. So I'd say try and get over your current fear, or just move away. Like, don't half think it. You just take action and do one of those two.
Brilliant.
I would say just don't think about it. I like in the simplest form possible. Just dive in and just do it, because we had absolutely like no idea what we were doing at the start. Like we literally, I would almost say at the start, faked it till we made it.
Yeah, we did.
Because we were learning on the job. We were teaching each other things. Like nobody taught us how to do any of this, like graphic design or video editing or community management or anything like that. We spend hours upon hours learning ourselves how to do it, and like we're still learning. But if we never started, we wouldn't be here. And we started when we knew nothing. And the amount that even said to each other there probably last week, like the state of our videos when we started compared to them now. And but at the start we said to each other that we're gonna look back on these in a year's time and piss ourselves laughing. And I was like, but who cares? You need a starting point. The starting point
Correct.
Sometimes has to be complete and utter nonsense, but but you need to start somewhere.
And you can't get, and it's so true, because you can't get to where you are now without the building blocks of that situation. You know, like that's part of the rent you have to pay. And I often think like you lads are probably the same. Like you look back at younger versions of yourself and you go, thank fuck, like I did that there, and now I'm at the situation with the awareness I have now. You know, that's, you know, we're here and we're able to have the benefits of this situation. So
I think I read something before, and it said like, do something today that will benefit you tomorrow. You know, like don't just think about now. Think about in a month's time, in 6 months, in a year's time, the compound that small habit or that small decision can make in a year's time. I had this conversation the other day. I said to somebody, if you had told me this time last year that I'd be living in Bangkok with my own business, I would have laughed at you. Like I would have been like, what? Like no chance. But like it's just like work ethic compounded from the two of us with our passion to not kind of conform to kind of social norms that we didn't even when we worked together in our corporate job. We always used to say to each other, how do we get out of this? Like what can we do to just make 1,000 quid a month or something like that, or like $2,000 a month each or something like that. We were like, what can we do? Anything, just so we have freedom of time and we have the ability to scale. Really, that's all we thought about. And now we're here.
And it's just one brick at a time. I was having a conversation with one of my mates who's a client of mine, and it's like we can so often project. It's like, oh, this needs to be done and that needs to be done, and think about the end goal. But you've really got to just think at the one step in front of you, you know, and take that one brick at a time. Otherwise it becomes overwhelming, and then our brain procrastinates, and then we're like, okay, fuck, I don't even want to start anyway. So yeah, I think I agree. It's one little chunk at a time, which is brilliant. And then the to kind of, as we begin to round it up, because I like to keep it as concise as possible, is what have been the most powerful tactics, techniques, frameworks, without going too much, but that you've learned that, say, someone who's beginning with social media or even their own business marketing, that you could pass on?
I think it's like creating content. A lot of people, we don't get a lot of people coming directly onto our Instagram to like ask us to be their client. A lot of it is through platforms and stuff and through different advertising strategies. But having some sort of social proof there, having the confidence to get in front of the camera, to build your own brand. And then if you are speaking with a client, you have something there, something they can look at, and they'll have more trust in you if they can see you speaking. So I'd say if you're going to create content for someone else, be comfortable with creating your own content first. And you've already overcome that first bit of fear you'd have. So I'd say just record yourself, do as much talk and face content as possible. That's where I'd start for sure.
Yeah. Brilliant. What about yourself, Sean?
I mean, my way of thinking about it is just fail as much as possible.
Yeah.
That is like the way I kind of live anything I do by, whether it's like going to the gym or like football, golf, like anything. You have to fail and fail and fail and fail. Like fail as quickly as possible and as frequently as possible. Because the more you fail, the closer you get to success. Some people think like, oh, I failed like this 2 or 3 times. That must mean I can't do it. But in reality, you're getting such valuable feedback on what not to do, and maybe little pieces of information that something worked here along the line. And yeah, it's just that failure can be a building block to success as well. It's probably the main thing that I'd say for us. We failed and failed and failed and failed and failed. Like I think we had something like 50 or 60 proposals sent out on platforms without getting any replies. Even in the last month, we've completely changed up how we send proposals for specific jobs. Like we're constantly evolving, but because of failure in a certain aspect. So I think that's my number one kind of tip for anybody in anything. Just fail as frequently and as quickly as possible.
Love it, lads. Love it. And they both tie in with each other, right? Because it's like you got to do the content and you got to fail at it to then improve it. And then the more you do that, and the more, because it's like there's a guy, I don't know if you listen to him, Daniel Priestley. He's really, really good. He talks about building a personal brand and how crucial that is in today's day and age. Even with the rise of AI, right? Because people are going to be more connected to people because of the AI slop. So if you built a personal brand, people are going to be looking to connect with the individual. And then the value of like content, especially even longer form content, is like it generally takes about, like 7 hours for someone to know, like, and trust you. But then when you've got long form content, they can get to know, like, and trust you without you even being there, as well. So that's the value of this stuff and the podcasts and those things. And it is interesting as well, because like I think a lot of people can get caught on the super high tech stuff. But what I've found is, I think especially nowadays, even on Instagram, is my more highly produced videos perform less than my just documentary on the phone, like, because it feels more real. I don't know if people are feeling like they're being sold to when it's super high professional, like they've just been fed so much of it that now because even Alex Hormozi was talking about that, where he said still to this day one of his highest performing videos was him in his fucking office when it's like this camera on and his computer, and it was the content inside the video rather than the quality itself.
It builds trust. Like those talking head videos, if you can film something off your iPhone without crazy edits, it's going to build trust to people, and they're going to see you as a normal person as well. And we don't see AI as a threat to the business. It's just leverage for us, because we can look at their current content and say, that AI poster style that everyone has now. Simply crash. We'll reach out and we'll say, every single business looks like you. Look at these businesses that are doing well. They have someone doing their marketing. So AI is good to us, not because we use it, but we can oppose it with creating actual content and giving them something that's original, that their customers will trust.
I mean, like we barely use AI at all to create anything. We use it for back end,
for the boring stuff.
Back ends, like
that's its strategy, and
for agents or research and like kind of fast tracking tasks. But in terms of actually creating content, like said this before, like it's horrendous.
It is.
Like
I
it
agree.
really is. It's so bad. And like Caoimhin said, everybody has the same Canva AI graphic at the moment.
No,
And
man.
you're
I
just
said
going
that
through
the
it,
other day
like,
on my story.
I actually seen somebody the other day, and it was I won't say who it was because they're in Drogheda, but I read the caption. I seen the AI image, and I just showed him, and I was just like, look how AI this is, and scrolled down, and I just read the caption, and at the end of it, they obviously had prompted like Claude or ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever they were using, and forgot to take out the last bit. The last bit.
Oh no!
The last bit said, "Here are 5 hashtags that you can use to boost your post." And I was just, I was like, "No, surely not." But yeah, that's like AI is great, but for certain, it's not gonna replace us at all.
No, and I think then that becomes prime content for you lads, because you're able to educate people. Because as well, I can understand it's like you've got these kind of older crew and they're running a business and they're trying to make it super simple and they're seeing other people doing it, so they're just thinking, oh, like this is the easy way to do it, but they're trying to fast track through it. But yeah, no, I agree, because I said it the other day on my story. It's like I think it immediately makes a business look cheap. When you see that AI content. I think everyone's starting to feel the same, because I got a heap amount of replies to that story where everyone was thinking the same, so I think that's very poignant content for you guys right now, talking into that, because it is very true, is very, very true. And I think it's like content as well, and you guys are in such a good market where like so many people they just, it's like the last thing on their mind, so they're trying to, it's like you look at that behavioral pattern, it's like they're trying to just fast track, get something up because they know they need something up, but it's not quality, and they don't even know who they're speaking to, and they're trying to utilize the AI to like fast track that. But I agree, like what you guys are doing will never go out of business, because even then, right, it's like it's not us competing against AI. The only thing we're competing against is other people using AI to its best capability. Which I think is the important distinction there.
I think most people use AI in its most basic form.
Yeah.
Like really don't know how to prompt, don't know how to adjust the prompt, anything like that, even if they're like writing copy or asking it for a caption, like it's so obviously AI most of the time, and they don't even realize it's AI. But because like people like ourselves use AI every day, not generally for that kind of stuff, but we know how the AI talks. Like, we know it talks in triples. We know it has dashes. We know, that kind of overwhelming kind of description of things. It's so obvious to somebody who has a trained eye to it.
Even something that a business can do. If I had a business now, let's say I had a coffee shop and there was a 50% off sale, I wouldn't even post a static image. I just get a staff member to say we have a half price sale. And literally just a 10-second authentic video will perform 10 times better than even a non-AI static poster. It's just getting faces on the camera. That's the power of social media now. I think the world is healing a bit where people want to see that content a bit more.
I completely agree. It's the face. They want to connect with people. And I think that has heightened, as you so rightly said, because of that, the people and the connection is becoming in much more demand as well, which is
that kind of off the cuff, non-scripted, iPhone, just talking head, walking through a park. Like some of our most highest performing reels have absolutely no production on them whatsoever. Like they're not in a fancy studio. They're not like making sure we have a nice background. It's just one of us saying or doing something random. And it's just like people connect with the authentic, like even said, it's the authenticity and it's the off the cuff. It feels like you're actually looking at a person and they're not reading off a script.
Yeah. There's that connection. I think that's the brilliant piece to end on there, you know, and I think that's where your guys' unique edge is actually coming through is that, you know, is reminding businesses, because I think so many businesses just forget. It's like, you don't need this massive budget. You don't need to buy like thousands and thousands of dollars of equipment. But I think, as you so rightly, what you guys would be focusing on, what does matter is what off the cuff, yes, but also a clarity around the messaging, which would be what you guys would focus on. It's like, what's your niche? What's their pains? How are you speaking to it? And those are things that at times, I know for me, I've really struggled at points to describe, because I get feedback and so many people are like, you know, what is brotherhood? And it's been hard to, because I feel it's so many things, right? But then trying to bring it down into a concise message, which I'm still working on even after so many years. And I think there are so many people who do and still are. And I think that is, that's an important thing to, because you can continue to post content, and that's what I've realized. But if the messaging isn't clear or consistent, it starts to feel a bit scattered as well.
Yeah, 100%.
The algorithm also knows that as well. If you're sending consistent messaging, the algorithm learns what messaging that you're sending, who to send it to, who to push it to. If one day you're talking about like psychotherapy and the next day you're talking about like Coke Zero, like they don't know who to send that to. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I love Coke Zero, to be fair.
Maybe
way better than regular.
Some way or another, but you kind of have to be consistently communicating clearly.
Yeah.
And your message needs to be like there for everybody to see. And I think over the last while, we've, even your own Instagram page, I don't mean yours specifically, but ours or some of our clients, we've been completely changing around, because like Instagram is, or TikTok or any social media platform now is like, it's not social media anymore. It's like a marketplace.
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to sell something to someone. Yes. And if you're a business on Instagram, or if you're a business on social media, your profile needs to look like a landing page. People need to come onto your profile and know, like, okay, this is exactly what this page does, or this is exactly what this business does. And as soon as they go on to your videos, they should know exactly, clear messaging. You know, they can recognize that it's your video, kind of stuff like that. So we've been, I think, with everyone lately, changing all of that stuff around, and we've seen like massive increases in engagement, views, even sales and stuff like that as well. But like clear communication, so important.
So true. And I think one thing I'm even looking at doing is I was watching a video there the other day, and they were talking about, you need to make it simple for someone to, like, if they want to take action, direct them to where they need to go, that they can click. Because it's not 100 million options, even on like a link tree, that there's like just clear, concise things like that. And it's so true. And then like, even for me, like my Darren and my brotherhood used to be quite connected, but then now I've kind of separated the two, where like my personal brand is more like me talking about my philosophy. And then I'm thinking, like, I've seen now it's more so I'm moving away from the super, like, you know, high quality videos to more like on my phone, because I've realized people just want to connect with me and documenting the journey. And like, I'm talking about my philosophy, and then they go on to brotherhood, and brotherhood's proven evidence of the community, and that's living out that philosophy, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like separating the two.
It's having different ways. Like all the content that goes viral for our clients, a lot of it is stupid content, you know, like it's because Instagram or favoritism, things that aren't following a trend. So it's thinking of something creative, doing it for the first time, and just not being afraid to share it. So with your personal brand, you're probably doing a lot of stuff that's authentic. You've just thought of on the spot, and it's original. That stuff is going to perform well.
I think people, especially with the high production stuff, like if we're in like a fancy podcast studio, like, and we're making content for an ad or something like that, like that's fine for an ad set if you're running a campaign, because people want to see professionalism when they're looking for that. But I think people are so tired of being sold to now. Like nobody wants to feel like they're being sold to. I think they want to feel like more of a natural, like, oh, I like this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I've made the decision.
He's not selling me. I kind of just like this guy. And I want to help him or whatever. And I find myself the same. Like there's this Irish guy at the moment, and he makes these paintings. And I followed him years ago because I was like, I love what he's doing. Now he's like completely blown up, but I wanted to buy a painting off him years ago. But it's just like because of his background, like it's authentic. He's Irish. He's just like, he's made something for himself, and I wanted to like follow on his journey. And now he's blown up. But it's because the person behind the brand, not the actual brand.
Yeah, it's like Simon Sinek. People don't buy what you do; they buy why you do it. And there's also like a personal feeling there, isn't there? When you're a person who's like been early on before the person blows up, and then you feel like, oh, I'm one of the originals.
Like I was gatekeeping them for so long.
That's
now I hate that everybody else knows them.
I love it, lads. Well, look, I'm gonna finish up here, but this has been very valuable. So thank you so much, lads, for jumping on. Like for anyone who is feeling called to reaching out to you guys or checking what you guys are doing, where can they find you?
They can find us on Instagram. We're obgrowth. Email obgrowth1@gmail.com. And then me and Sean have our personal Instagrams too, that when you post a video, we'll comment on it as well. But just reach out to us. We also have a Discord channel too, which we host a call every Saturday. And we essentially just give people some free tips on how to get started in social media marketing or how to improve their business. So if it's the case, you don't have any spare money, but you want to improve on social media, reach out to us. We'll have a conversation, and there won't be any hard sell. If you want us, you can have us, and we'll do the work for you.
The Discord community is completely free, and there's no catch, by the way. We just pretty much do it out of goodness of our heart.
Yeah, and value.
Yeah.
And as well, we get a lot of value off other people because we're still in the early stages of our business. And there's a couple of lads that are there consistently every week. And like Dave said some things, and I've been like, oh, never even thought of that. And it's helped us.
Yeah.
It's exchanging free value, which is powerful, instead of just sitting there on your phone scrolling on a Saturday morning, take an hour and going to that call.
It's about having like building a community. I think we have like 20 people in there now, but at the start there was like 5 of us. So I mean, you have to start somewhere, but I think over time we have the ability to like create a community of like-minded people that will have a similar goal. It might not be social media. There might be just some people in there that want to do it for their own business or want to do it for their own personal brand. Some people want to actually pursue it as a career. Some people just want advice. So we don't necessarily care who you are. If we can help, we'll help. And we want to build a community.
I love it, lads. Brilliant. Well, guys, there we go. Go and follow these lads' support. And there's a lot of value, hopefully, that you got from this. I know you definitely did. I know I did. And as I always like to say, the mission beckons, the mission calls. Let's fucking go.
Yes, lad. Cheers, Aaron. Great chatting to you.
It was a pleasure. There we go. I'll stop the recording there.